Hey guys, Cybertron Zheng here, and today we are doing something special on this channel with Series 5 of VGC 2020 starting very shortly. I'm actually going to have a exhibition best of 3 match against Wolfe Glick. Wolfe and I did an exhibition match really in the very beginning of VGC 2020, and Series 5 obviously looks completely different. So super excited to play against Wolfe. This is the first best of 3 that I'll be playing in the VGC 2020 format, so I'm curious to see how it goes in general. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Wolfe is also recording it, so feel free to check out his perspective of the battle. I am using the Cobalion Terrakion team that I built on this channel a couple of days ago. Paste is in the description below, and it is actually a rental code as well, so feel free to try it out yourselves. Wolfe is using a lot of the biggest threats really in this format with Terrakion, Azumarill, Porygon, and Alakazam, so a lot of new Pokemon on his side of the field. So Psychic Spam looks very scary here with the Indeedee and the Alakazam. I gotta say, I'm actually very terrified of that, especially because I don't have a great way to control the terrain with this team. So I want to go with, like, Cobalion's pretty good against that stuff. Scarf Chandelure can just launch a Heat Wave immediately. I'm curious on the Terrakion set that he's running as well. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Whimsicott Chandelure, honestly, as a lead. I think Cobalion's absolutely going to be essential in this matchup, and I wanted to bring it into this set because I think it's just a really dang good Pokemon that I want to feature more. Amoonguss is interesting because, yeah, there's Dual Psychic, but after the Dual Psychic, like, Amoonguss can actually fare pretty well. Although Terrakion also just does a ton of damage across the board, especially under Tailwind. So I'm going to bring both Cobalion and Terrakion in this game. We'll see how things go. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this best of 3. Thanks to Wolfe for doing this with me. And yeah, I'm excited just to see how things go. This team definitely is not perfected by any means, but it's a fun one. And I really like Cobalion in the early meta, so I want to see what we can do with it. But hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, please share support by leaving a like. And don't forget to check out Wolfe's perspective of this battle as well. Yep, okay, it is just going to be Psychic Spam with Indeedee Alakazam here. So what do I want to do turn 1? His play, honestly, I think it's just a, like, Expanding Force. Like, double Expanding Force, maybe. I don't know how bulky the Indeedee is here. So part of me wants to just Tailwind so that I can outspeed with the Terrakion that I have in the back. Something like Tailwind Heat Wave, for example. The only problem with Tailwind Heat Wave... you kind of have to respect the Shadow Ball from Chandelure, though, right? Although he might have Focus Sash on Alakazam. So I could go for a relatively risky play, which is, like, just Tailwind and just Shadow Ball into Alakazam. Of course, you could just, like, follow me and Expanding Force, but I think Wolfe recognizes that I'm not sure he expects me to play it safe here. And I want to see if he's Focus Sash on the Alakazam. So even though this is kind of risky, I'm actually going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. And he doesn't go for a Follow Me, which is great. However, that makes me think that the Alakazam has a Focus Sash. But like I said, maybe, yeah, I think just like Follow Me there is super safe on his end. So I wasn't expecting him to go for it. It's not Sash on Alakazam, so that's so good for us. It's an excellent way to start the battle. Okay, nice. Yep, and Indeedee just launches Expanding Force. What does make this a little bit awkward now is I am locked into Shadow Ball with the Chandelure. And Porygon 2 comes out, which obviously screams Trick Room. Okay, Download's also going to give it a special attack boost. So that's obviously not good. Okay, Trick Room's probably going to go up here. What I could do is, like, go for Beat Up immediately and just switch out into Cobalion to get boosted up. But I think your play here is to just click Expanding Force. I think we'll take it decently well in Cobalion, but I don't really want to take any damage onto that. However, that being said, I still think it's probably our best option, because Scarf Chandelure, like, Trick Room is definitely going up here. So I actually didn't need a Tailwind there. I'm going to go for the Beat Up and switch out into Cobalion. Because this at least gets Cobalion to +4, and then we can max it the next turn. The best case is if Indeedee, like, protects or switches out, but I don't see any reason to go for either of that right now. Although he might not know I'm Choice Scarfed yet. And Indeedee protects! Wow, that is so good for us. Alright, we get boosted Cobalion now. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. That puts us in a very favorable position right now, I think, because Porygon's going to Trick Room, but now we can just Dynamax the Cobalion the subsequent turn. So the big question is, what does Wolfe want to max right now on his side of the field? There is Terrakion, which I don't think probably is in the back. There's Azumarill, which would, I guess, make some sense. Like, Azumarill with Max Knuckle could be a little scary here. Okay. Yep, Trick Room goes up. Okay. Huh. So we're at +4 now. Terrain is still up. We have Scarf Chandelier in the back. My best bet is that Wolfie's last Pokemon is Azumarill. That's the only thing that makes sense. I think he's in a lot of trouble if it's Terrakion or Incineroar in the back. I could pretty freely go for a Dynamax right now with the Cobalion. The only question is who I want to target. And I think I like the idea of launching a Steel Spike into the Indeedee slot. The only problem is if you switch an Incineroar. But Steel Spike gives me a defense boost, which is actually really important considering what he has in the back. So here I'm leaning towards just Moonblast and Steel Spike into Indeedee. Porygon shouldn't do very much damage to us here. Especially because we have the Assault Vest. Sure has a special attack boost, but that's really not that big of a deal. And I really want that defense boost because all the Pokemon that Wolfie has in the back are physical attackers right now. So, yeah. However, by bringing such fast Pokemon into this matchup, like, if I had a Moongus in the back, for example, I feel like we'd actually probably have this game locked up. But because I brought, like, the super hyper offensive mode of my team, I could still, you know, have some trouble against Trick Room right now. Okay. It's just going to be a Tri-Attack coming out onto Whimsicott. That's fine. I'm thinking the Focus Sash might actually be on the Indeedee here, then. Okay, Expanding Force, single target. That still does so much damage. Oh, we get crit. That would do it. That's a bad crit, unfortunately for us. It's a lot of added damage. And it is Sash Indeedee. Okay. Oh, okay. I think it would have been better to have protected the, I should have protected last turn. Like, I didn't bring any Psychic Resists, nor did I bring in a Moongus in this matchup, which was the problem. And that crit means that we're taking so much damage, so much extra damage, so that is definitely unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to bring in Chandelier, but the Sash makes it tough. So at least I know where the Focus Sash is now. It's on the Indeedee, because it's probably going to be on one of Indeedee and Alakazam. But, of course, Indeedees might carry safety goggles as well. Okay, defense boost, 3 turns of Trick Room left, but I can't max guard. You just Expanding Force here. I have to KO the Indeedee, to be honest, I think. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. I'm just going to Heat Wave and go for another Steel Spike. That crit might not end up mattering in the long run, so we'll see. But I definitely don't have like the best answers against... I do have pretty decent answers against Psychic Spam, but it involves, I would say, a Moongus. Okay, so at least we don't get status condition there. But like Cobalion takes so much damage now where whatever Wolf's last one is going to give me a lot of problems because he still has a Dynamax left too. So yeah, even though we had a really good lead in this game, this is just the power of Trick Room. So we'll see if that crit ended up mattering. It really comes down to what his last one was. I was thinking it might matter if his last one is a Azumarill because then like we can take another attack with +2 defense. So Tailwind's out now. I do have Terrakion on his last one, which is obviously very good offensively. If someone's like... If it's like Incineroar in the back, for example, or even his own Terrakion, we're actually in good shape, but it should be Azumarill, I think, based off how he's played this. Yeah, it's Azumarill. That crit really might have mattered then, but there's not much point in trying to dwell on that right now. I think like the one adjustment I really could have made in this game was bringing a Moongus over Terrakion. That probably would have just won us the game, honestly. So going into the next game, I might consider bringing a Moongus, despite my opponent having, or despite Wolfie having, you know, Psychic Spam stuff. Fast-paced game so far, though. Yeah, I mean, you just double up onto the Cobalion now. There's not much I could really do, unfortunately. I want to see if Close Combat can one-shot the Porygon, so I think that's a good damage calc to figure out. And I guess I'll Steel Spike Azumarill. But I think Azumarill here... I do want to see what set he is. I'm really curious. Yeah, I think if we had a Moongus over Terrakion, this game pretty much would have been a lock, but I ended up bringing Terrakion, and that ended up working against my favor. I also could have protected with Whimsicott the turn I got Expanding Forced, which was, I think, probably would have helped out a bunch. It just buys their turn of Trick Room, basically. Okay, so Azumarill comes out. It should have Max Knuckle, though, so you should just double up right now into the Cobalion slot. Yep, there's Tri-Attack. Based off how much damage he's doing, I'm not sure the crit honestly ends up mattering. He's going to go for Geyser, probably into Cobalion, right? Yeah. So without Max Guard, unfortunately, there's not much we can really do there. I think my only chance here is maybe a double Protect. But he should have Aqua Jet anyway, so I don't think there's really much we could do. Curious if he has Max Knuckle, though, because he didn't go for it there. So I'm wondering if it's like... It's probably not a Belly Drum set. It's also not a Life Orb set, but the Life Orb's probably on the... Okay, we do get the 1-hit KO on Porygon, so that's a good calc to know. Yeah, nice comeback by Wolfie here. Ultimately, this is, yeah, the problem of having, like, hyper offense. Like, you can just often get swept by slower Trick Room stuff, and I didn't bring my best counter against Trick Room, which is a Moongus. But I should have been able to foresee the Trick Room a little bit. more now that I like look at his team, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna protect here. I want to see how much the Geyser does. But the problem is that even if we like double protect, like we're not knocking out Azumarill, we can't flinch it either, so there's pretty much no way to win. Okay. So I think the main adjustment that I would have made in this game was basically bringing Amoonguss, right? I think Wolfe might be content going with the same lead. Yeah, Geyser just gets the one-hit KO there. So strong. So, well played. Really good patience in waiting for the Dynamax. And even though we had such a good like first 2 turns, the Cobalion just ended up taking more damage than I really wanted it to from the double up that turn. So I thought we were in a really favorable position, but the fact that the Indy was sashed obviously made it tougher because it means that Wolfie got 2 expanding forces off instead of just 1. So, going into this next game, I think the approach will be to adjust with the Amoonguss in the back. What's going to be interesting here is what my lead is here. Because I don't really have great Psychic resists. So, for example, he could really easily lead the Alakazam once again. So, like, what I'm thinking of is leading, like, Cobalion Dragapult and just go for, like, a Beat Up Airstream or Draco Meteor or Max Airstream turn 1. That could be interesting. I'm not sure Terrakion was really that helpful for us in this last one, and I think Wolfie might just be content leading the same thing. And this time just clicking Follow Me instead of attacking with ENDD. So, like, one approach I'm thinking of is Dragapult Cobalion, which allows me to... It forces him to follow me, so I can just, like, Draco Meteor, double up into the ENDD slot, get a Max Airstream off, have Whimsicott in the back for Beat Up, and then this time around have Amoonguss in the back, because Amoonguss is... Like, we basically want to prioritize around playing Cobalion in this game, I think. And the logic behind playing around Cobalion is like the last game, like it could have been in a prime position to sweep, but without redirection support from Amoonguss, I couldn't. I took too much damage, right? And I'm not sure that crit even ended up mattering. It was close, honestly, because like Cobalion is a really defensive Pokemon, but with Tri-Attack getting also like the special attack boosts from the Porygon made it tougher for me. Wolfie Officer Incineroar and Alakazam. Okay, that is actually really favorable for us, I think, because the Dragon Ball can just beat up here immediately. And with no redirection support, I think I'm free to turn 1. I have 2 options. I could also just Thunder Wave Alakazam, but what I'm leaning towards is just beat up into the Cobalion, Dynamax, and Max Airstream. Can max the Alakazam, but I think that's relatively unlikely. When does it got Amoonguss in the back? Now, what I do have to be careful is, like, by bringing such passive Pokemon, I have fully committed to the Cobalion basket here, right? So I really need to get as much off as possible with it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to beat up here. I think we target the Alakazam. Just because by getting rid of Alakazam, that paves the way for Amoonguss as well to spore things. Okay, he's going to switch out Alakazam. Fine by me. Into Indeedee. Okay. So this is pretty good, because we'll get the speed boost off. And, like, Cobalion does really well against everything Wolf's revealed right now. So, I mean, if anything, I maybe expect it. You know, one really crazy play you could go for is actually maxing the Incineroar and just going for Max Flare. But even if he goes for that, the next turn we can beat up into to KO the Indeedee and then just Max Knuckle into Incineroar. I'm expecting Parting Shot here, but let's see. Maybe I could have gone for Steel Spike instead. Okay. So we get beat up off. This lead ended up working out even better than I expected, but once again, like, because of the Pokemon that I brought, I have to be really careful about how I play this, because it's all about Cobalion in this game, basically. Yeah. I don't know, I mean, I adjusted with the Amoonguss because I was really worried about the Trick Room component, like, from last game, but Wolfe might have caught on to that. But we'll get the boosts off, we'll get an Airstream off too. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Parting Shot, but even if he Parting Shots the next turn, I can just go for Beat Up and Max Knuckle, I think, which is pretty safe. So this should bring it down to Focus Sash. Yep. The Sash makes this considerably harder, I think. Like, if Sash weren't in that last game, Cobalion wouldn't have taken that second Expanding Force. But the upside is now we just outspeed everything. So I'm expecting Parting Shot. Oh, it's Burning Jealousy. Wow, that's very cool. Okay. I have to admit, I actually didn't even consider that as an option. So that's really neat. Okay. So with that, what I want to do is just beat up into Cobalion and go for a Max Knuckle onto the Incineroar. It's actually still okay, though. Like, we don't really take that much damage. Inity protects, which is great. So the beat up into Cobalion is safe because it covers him going for, like, follow me. If he follow me's, then I just get it. I get the target into the Inity. I don't even know if Max Knuckle KOs right now, so we're about to find out. But we got our Cobalion boosted all the way, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I actually want to, like, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm just too used to not playing Series 5 VGC, so Burning Jealousy honestly wasn't even an option I was considering. Okay. Get the Max Knuckle off. Okay, good. Still picks up the 1-hit KO. That's actually a really big deal, because now, this last turn of Max, I can just beat up into the Inity and attack whatever's coming in. And because the Dragapult is faster, we'll just KO the Inity. But very cool. The Burning Jealousy tech is very cool. So I think the main adjustment from last game was basically realizing like Cobalion's really good and we just need to support it properly. And the Dragapult Cobalion lead actually ends up working out really nicely. Like Terrakion has a tough time in this matchup because of the Psychic Spam stuff, and it just like can't take a single Expanding Force. Even if you max it, like it gets destroyed by Psychic Terrain boosted Expanding Force. So we know Alakazam is in the back. The big question is what Wolfe's last one is. He's going to be bringing in the Alakazam though, which I'm okay with, especially because we have Thunder Wave. So we're boosted up now. Yeah, I think I'm fine to just go for beat up here onto Indeedee. And go for a Steel Spike onto the Alakazam. I wonder if Alakazam maxes now, actually. Yeah, it's going to commit the max to it. So he might be max guarding here, which would make a lot of sense. But we still have the speed boost, which is good. However, because I didn't bring Terrakion in the back or Chandelure, this thing could pose a major offensive threat. I don't know if Steel Spike KOs, and I honestly expect Alakazam to max guard here, but no max guard. Okay. Alright, so let's see if Steel Spike can KO. I mean, it's +6 attack burnt, so it's not exactly super strong, but Alakazam's also like very frail defensively. Even if it doesn't KO, honestly, like Dragapult with beat up does a fair amount of damage to it. Okay. Let's see. Yep, so we get the Steel Spike off. If it's enough, I mean, that should just be the game. Nice. Let's go Cobalion. This is a very fast-paced set too, but we're both using like very hyper-offensive teams, so nice. This was pretty much like a perfect game though. I think max guard there would have made our life a lot more difficult. But I'm not sure it even has max guard. I mean, Alakazam I think wants to run Protect normally as the 4th move, so I was expecting to see max guard there, but we'll take it. Okay. I wonder if it's Terrakion as the last one. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So Wolfe didn't even offer Trick Room this time around, probably because he was expecting me to play like a Moongus-focused game, which would make a lot of sense. But we have the speed boost, so there's not much to worry about here. Although he could be Scarf Terrakion, actually. But with Whimsicott and Amoonguss in the back, we should be good. I'm not sure I actually want to reveal my moveset here right now with the Dragapult. So I think I'm just going to Draco Meat. I don't want to reveal that I have Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp yet. And because I have Amoonguss and Whimsicott in the back, there's no way Terrakion can 4v1. Yeah. And I actually want to see if he's Choice Scarfed here as well, because if he outspeeds my Cobalion, it means he's Scarfed. So, I mean, I could have gone for Thunder Wave Iron Head, but with Whimsicott in the back, I think like I'd rather just get more information out right now. But it looks like he's not Scarfed. Or he could be Scarfed and he's not max speed, because I'm not max speed Cobalion. So, we're going to go to a game 3, which is pretty hype. I'm very curious about the adjustments here. I led Dragapult Cobalion expecting Alakazam and Indeedee. So I think, like, because I won this game in such a wide margin, Wolfie definitely has to adjust, right? And he has to think, okay, what's my best lead against the Dragapult and the Cobalion specifically? And that's a really good question. We didn't even bring our last two in the back, which is good, right? Because, like, I wasn't sure Whimsicott and Amoonguss were the right two. It was just to cover all my bases, but the one thing I was kind of uncomfortable with that is, like, if Cobalion goes down, like, I just instantly lose the game, which doesn't feel very good, right? So, there's no way Wolfie leads Incineroar this time around. Like, I could see Indeedee Porygon, but I didn't reveal that I brought Amoonguss out in the back last time, right? So, I could get some value out of that. If you do lead Indeedee Porygon, What do you even do, right? Because, like, what's exerting offense from that side of the field? You could go Terrakion, but this is where, like, I might go Dragapult Cobalion again, honestly, because it seems like it's really good here. I just don't know if I want Whimsicott and Amoonguss in the back this time around. But the logic makes sense, because it's like, if I'm expecting Dragapult to go down turn 1, and I trade Dragapult for... I could see Wolfe actually maxing Alakazam and just max Psychic into the Cobalion as well. I think that's a possibility. So if I expect that, I could go like Whimsicott. I actually really... if I had to predict Wolfie's lead, I would think Alakazam Indeedee, and you max Alakazam turn 1. Which is really tricky. I'm gonna go Dragapult Cobalion again. I'm not sure this is the right move, though. I'm bringing the same Pokemon as last time, but I actually don't think that's the correct mode, because I don't think Wolfe goes with the Trick Room route, because I don't think he can guarantee setting up Trick Room. So I think what actually might have been better was bringing in Chandelure over Amoonguss just to have a fast offensive option against the Alakazam. So I wasn't too sure in Team Preview here, and I, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't even reveal what I brought in the back last time, but I expect Alakazam Indeedee. Yep, that is exactly the lead. So if I had to guess, Alakazam maxes here turn 1. I guess the question is basically whether it KOs us or not. I don't think it KOs AV Cobalion. Like, I'd be really surprised if it did, but... He also could target Dragapult here, although I think that's relatively unlikely. This is actually pretty interesting, though. Like, do I just go for Beat Up here? Because he could protect Indeedee, right? Beat Up into Cobalion and Airstreaming seems okay, but the only problem is if that actually doesn't KO the Indeedee. But I kind of want to just Beat Up Airstream into Alakazam here. Or Beat Up into Cobalion Airstream. If you follow Mies, I get a fair amount of damage off with Beat Up. Maybe just KO Indeedee. It's close, but I get the speed boost, which is really important. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to target Alakazam, because I could see a world in which Indeedee protects, Alakazam maxes. Okay, Alakazam doesn't max, though. Interesting. He could just actually click double Expanding Force right now, which actually could be pretty bad, because I didn't target Indeedee. So, I do think the correct approach in this game was probably having Chandelure in the back. Because, yeah, Whimsicott Amoonguss is just, like, a little bit too passive. And Chandelure's Scarf Heat Wave just has a lot of value for us in this match. Nice play. Okay, so he doesn't protect with either. So it's probably just going to be a double Expanding Force, which means my Cobalion just takes way too much damage turn 1. What this means is that Wolfe could just get a free switch in and set up Trick Room now. However, I have Amoonguss. He's not safety goggles on the Indeedee. But once again, Cobalion is like my entire damage output. So yeah, I think like what I should have recognized after the last game was that I just take way too much damage. A double up on an Indeedee could have been really nice here, actually. But the problem is that now Indeedee will have its Sash served. Expanding Force does so much damage there. We'll KO the Alakazam, but yeah, I was actually expecting Alakazam to max there, so nice decision to not max. Now the problem is that Indeedee has its Focus Sash conserved. So really good adjustment by Wolfe there, I think. And yeah, I didn't think the same Pokemon would cut it, but we do have a Amoonguss in the back this time around, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, Cobalion actually takes that decently well. So this is still definitely doable, but nice turn 1 play by Wolfe. I think what would have been better would have been to just double up into the Indeedee turn 1 with Beat Up and Airstream. Pick up the KO onto that, we survive, and then he doesn't have Follow Me pressure in the next turn. So I think I have to go out into Whimsicott here. As I'm expecting Azumarill, or sorry, Porygon. Actually, Azumarill comes out, interesting. Oh, maybe I should have gone into Amoonguss there then. We got the Beat Up off though, right? Which means maybe he didn't bring Porygon, because I was thinking if you have Porygon, you can just Follow Me Trick Room. So now what I have to do, I'm definitely going for Moonblast Steel Spike. The question is into what spot? Into what spot? I'm leaning towards Indeedee. Because like Azumarill is just such a big threat offensively here. And after the Steel Spike, I'm not sure Azumarill even KOs us. But if Indeedee protects here, we're in trouble. If it doesn't, though, then we actually are in pretty good shape, because then we can just go for another Beat Up the next turn. And we have Azumarill for redirection support as well, but yeah. Okay. Azumarill maxes. So that's not surprising. The only question is, did the Indeedee protect? Because if it doesn't, then we get the Moonblast Steel Spike off, which KOs the Indeedee and the defense boost. And I'm thinking we can survive an attack from this Azumarill, but maybe I'm overestimating Cobalion's bulk right now. Let's see. Okay, so no protect, which is good. So we get the Steel Spike off immediately. Yeah, it's a question of whether I can survive from the Azumarill, basically. Let's see. He went for Geyser last time instead of Max Knuckle. I mean, this is Azumarill we're talking about. It is really strong, but let's see. And then what I have to debate the next turn is what the Azumarill goes for. Do you Max Guard? Okay, it's just Max Geyser coming out. Let's see. Can we survive? Cobalion takes it. Okay, nice. So there's no redirection anymore. Indeedee is out of the way. Cobalion's at +4 attack. Honestly, I'm not sure having Chandelure Terrakion would have been that great for us here in the back. And it is Porygon as the last one, which means I could safely go for a Max Knuckle onto that to guarantee the KO. But then I have to deal with the Azumarill. So then the question is, can Whimsicott and Max HP, Max Special Defense Amoonguss deal with Azumarill? Because I have Pollen Puff. I don't have Giga Drain, which is the other problem. He's always going to go for Max Geyser here onto Azumarill. I guess you would also have Protect on Porygon. And I don't know if Moonblast Max Steel Spike KOs the Porygon. Let's see, +1 defense. The safest play is to Moonblast the Azumarill and just Max Knuckle into the Porygon. Because I don't want... Oh, actually, I guess I could let Trick Room go up. But Porygon... Actually, I don't have damage against Porygon if I don't go for the Max Knuckle here. So I think I have to. Okay, so we pick up the KO. Azumarill has to KO the Cobalion. And then it's a 2v1. I really wanted to go for like a Max Steel Spike there for a defense boost. But I honestly was not sure. I guess the other problem is actually Azumarill can go for... That's not very much damage at all. That looks like Assault Vest. Yeah, I can go for Starfall. Does that KO us, actually? If I went for the defense boost, I think we actually would have survived there. But that Starfall covers for the Amoonguss option, which is very smart on Wolfie's end. However, if he's Assault Vest, I would think he has Ice Punch. I maybe should have gone for Moonblast Max Steel Spike into Porygon. That would have allowed us to probably survive that. And unfortunately, we don't have Giga Drain. If we had Giga Drain on Amoonguss, I think we'd actually probably be good here. Now the question is, do you have Max Ice? I could pretty easily double protect this turn to stall out Dynamax, so I think that's our play. But the lack of Grass-type attacks here unfortunately hurt us a fair amount. Really close set one way or the other, though. I really was thinking about the Steel Spike, but I didn't know my calc super well until a Porygon there. I think Moonblast Steel Spike does KO the Porygon, though, so I think that was probably the better play. He has Max Steel Spike, though. Okay, it's a defense boost. So I'm wondering if he doesn't have Ice Punch. Because if you have Steel Spike, I'm thinking your move pool is Water, Ice, Fairy, Water, Fighting Fairy, and Iron Head, which means I'm not sure you can actually KO the Amoonguss. So I am just going to Moonblast here and Rage Powder. And as soon as we stall out Terrain, right, because we can alternate between attacking and protecting, we can Spore the Azumarill as well. And I have Pollen Puff as well, but I'm not sure I can easily get that off. Because he has to respect the Pollen Puff. If we had Giga Drain, I actually think this game would be a lock, but obviously I opted for Pollen Puff, mainly for Cobalion recovery. Either way, though, this was a really fun set, so hats to Wolf. Turn 1, I think he made a nice play. And ultimately, the only play I regret in this game was not Steel Spiking. So let's see if there's Ice Punch from Azumarill. I don't think so, though, because I think if you have it, you would have gone for it last turn. I'm pretty sure this is Assault Vest Azumarill. It's not very much damage. It's going to be Liquidation and Rain. That's going to really hurt us. Okay, it's not a 2-hit KO, though. It's not a 2-hit KO. So let's double protect here. There's only 2 turns of terrain left. This is so intense. Yeah, let's double protect here. And then what makes this interesting is I think you have to respect the Amoonguss. Actually, what might have been better there was protecting Amoonguss and just Moonblasting. Because at this point, like, Moonblast, you know, chips away slowly. I have to remember that I have the defense boost as well. He opted for Steel Roller this time around into Amoonguss. Rain stops. So Liquidation does less now. The Rage Powder here is super, super obvious. So, like, I could Moonblast and Pollen Puff myself, but I think Rage Powder might still be safe. It's interesting that he's committing Steel Roller, actually, because if we survive that, we can Spore in return, right? I mean, we have a defense boost here right now with Whimsicott. Moonblast isn't really doing that much, right? Rage Powder is pretty safe. I'm gonna opt for the Rage Powder. I don't know if that's the correct play, though. Last turn, what I should have done, though, was, like I said, Moonblast and attack. Like, I think I'm playing a little too safe now. Like, I don't think Moonblast is actually doing enough damage to justify how I'm playing this right now. He's gonna opt for Steel Roller. Let's see if this one KOs. It does KO. Wow, okay. Nice. Yeah, so had I... he stalled out terrain perfectly. This was so close. I don't... Oh, actually, does Whimsicott survive now? Let's see. I mean, I'm definitely just Moonblasting here. Terrain is gone, right? I don't think Moonblast is a 2-hit KO. That's the only problem. I think it's a 3-hit KO. Oh, that's actually so close. Okay, Play Rough hits. Do we survive? Oh! But does he have Aqua Jet? He has Liquidation, Steel Roller. I don't think so. Oh, he does! Can we survive? Oh! No! Wait, I actually really want to know if that crit mattered. Because we had the defense boost. I don't think it did. That was actually a crazy set. Whimsicott. That might have mattered. Because we did have a defense boost. I think he had it even without the crit. I think he had it. Assuming he's max attack. Oh, that was so close. Yeah, Moonblast was actually enough. So I ended up playing too safe in the end there. I needed to make like just one prediction on who the Azumarill would target. And I didn't think Steel Roller would honestly KO the Amoonguss. That is actually one of the craziest ways to start off a best of 3 set in this format though. So good game to Wolfe. That was super, super fun. I also want to calc real quick how much Cobalion does into the Porygon because I think if it does enough with Moonblast, we could have just gone for Steel Spike at +4. Actually, no, Steel Spike and Moonblast wasn't KOing the Porygon there, so I do think he was correct to go for the Max Knuckle in that position. So, yeah, that play was fine then. Looking back, I actually think we didn't make a mistake there. Wow, that was super close. I think, if anything, I needed to maneuver the endgame a little bit better there. I wasn't sure if he even had Aqua Jet, because I thought he might have Superpower instead, because he had Liquidation, Play Rough, Steel Roller, and I was thinking the last one. It was definitely not an Ice type attack, so yeah. Anyway, but that was a really fun set. So thanks to Wolfe for playing this best of 3 with me. Really, like, a set like that, I'm like super happy regardless of how it plays. Really cool team on his end too, and just 2 hyper offensive teams just going back and forth against each other. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Check out Wolfe. Once again, feel free to try out the team yourselves. Link is in the description below. Cobalion almost pulled it off for us today. Fell just a little bit short, unfortunately, but it was still a very, very valiant attempt. And yeah, I might have to put Giga Drain on Amoonguss now, because I honestly didn't even play it against any Azumarills going into this, especially not AV Azumarill. So even though I think AV is the best set, so the team definitely is a little bit Azumarill weak, and I think Giga Drain obviously solves that. Whereas like I'm not using Pollen Puff with the Amoonguss a lot anyway. So yeah, all right, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace.